Hello, this is Victoria from Bodygraph, and in today's video we will be connecting Bodygraph with the Mailchimp. Now, if at the moment that you're watching this video you recognize that the step-by-step article or this video is outdated because Bodygraph or Mailchimp made some updates to layout changes, please report this to support@bodygraphchat.com and we will work on the update. So without further ado, let's move to the Bodygraph and Mailchimp connection. Okay, so when I am working with third-party apps, obviously I like to have two tabs open. So one tab is Bodygraph account and another tab is the third-party app. In this video specifically, it's a Mailchimp. This way I can easily jump between the tabs and collect required data and make changes to required settings. So to make the connection with the Mailchimp through the Bodygraph, you would need to head to My Apps, click Create New Button, and select Mailchimp. Now give it a name that it gives you easily. No one else can see this name. It's just for your identification. So give it a name that will make easy to understand that this is the Mailchimp connection at your integration. I like to give it exactly the same name as the app. Now you can connect multiple app connections which will have exactly same API credentials, but that subscribers will go to the different lists or the different audiences within Mailchimp. So if you do that, I would recommend then name it under the audience or the integration name, so it will be easy to recognize when you need to enable the app connection at the integration to understand which goes where. Now to proceed, I need the API key. This is not the API key obviously from the Bodygraph, and then this is common mistake that sometimes customers copy Bodygraph API key while reconnecting the third-party app. So it's only it's obvious that we need the API key from that third-party app. So we'll head to the Mailchimp account. This is a testing account that I created for this testing video, and I will need to click on the profile icon on the top right corner and head to accounts and billings. Then I need to click on Extras tab and select API keys. Now, if you just open an account, you probably won't have any API keys. So that means you would click Create a Key button and just generate new API key. If you have a Mailchimp for a while, most likely you have already some API keys, so you can revoke and use exactly the same API key. Totally your choice. Or you can just create separate API key which will be for example dedicated specifically for that integration. Okay, oops, I just pressed mobile app key. That's not what I want. So create a key. I will give it a new name and generate a key, and then copy to the clipboard, and then come back to the Bodygraph and paste the key. Now this is very common mistake with any apps, the payment apps or newsletter, data collection apps, that when the credentials are copied with the auto copy system, usually that causes no issues because it copies only the code. Now if you copy it manually just by highlighting the information, very often it happens that you copy spaces before or after the credentials. That will cause the issues with the app, so connection won't work. So if you're copying it manually, please ensure that there are no spaces before or after the key, otherwise app won't work. So let's save the API key and test the connection. Testing the connection indicates if I provided the correct credentials, and in this case we see the green message that connection test is successful, means the credential is correct. Now sometimes customers stop here and they go into the integration and enabling this app, and then it fails because the integration is not collected. We're basically connecting the app it receives the data, but we're not telling where the data is supposed to land. So without selecting the list, the app integration won't work. So let's proceed and select the list. Now I have only one list at my testing Mailchimp. If you have multiple lists, maybe you want to create a completely separate list to separate the subscribers from the other subscribers that you collect. So then go ahead and create a list at the Mailchimp. I will use my one and only list. And once that's selected, then I can collect the tags. Now tags will allow you to sort the subscribers by type, by profile, and send very targeted emails. Source tag specifically attaches the tag Bodygraph. So if without even the list, you will be able to sort out the subscribers by tag Bodygraph. Now custom fields is additional information that I can collect about the customer. So for example, I can collect the date of birth, place of birth, link to their chart, and any additional custom information that I want to add to my Mailchimp. Now, sometimes customers ask if there is a possible to add the custom fields here. So answer is no. The app connection is preset and developed with the set of the custom fields. In the future, of course, we might expand this list to collect the different data or additional data as well, but there's no option to customize it. Now, the very common mistake as well after selecting the list tags and the custom fields is to click send test data immediately. That will give an error message. Need to save the selection first. So the app confirms that data lands in that list, and just then send test data. Wait for a couple of seconds and then go back to the top and see that test data is sent successfully. So now I can go to the Mailchimp, my audience and all contacts, and I see that test data is sent successfully to my account. Now for the integration, this is not done yet. Mailchimp, it is indeed connected with the Bodygraph, but it is not connected with your integration yet. If you will go to the full list of the apps, you will see that it has a red indicator and it says not in use. That means it's not enabled on any of the integrations. To enable it on the integration, we need to go to integrate chart and head to the embed code that you're using or will be using at your website. In this case, I will use my testing onboarding embed code, click apps, and this is where I mentioned that names are important. So for example, if I name it under the app name, it's easy for me to identify which app I need to toggle on and enable. So now then the app is enabled, I need to run the test, and you can do so on the preview mode, just as I'm doing right now. Or you can go directly to your website if this chart or this embed code is already integrated to your website, and run the test. Now, I do recommend run the test with the email that is not yet at your subscribers list, because the app connections do not add duplicates of the subscribers. They do override the data usually that is existing, not necessarily with all apps. If someone already has if your Mailchimp already has the subscriber there with the completely separate set of the data from elsewhere, this app connection might not be able to override that data. So it's just the way Mailchimp handles the information. So best would be to test with the existing, with the new, not existing subscriber or the email address, and run the chart. Now, when the chart is run, I need to go back to the Mailchimp and just refresh our contact list and see that I have 2 subscribers now, and the information was passed through. So that means the connection is successful. I can open as well the subscriber and see any information within the subscriber if my selected custom fields and tags are sent over. So that is good indicator that the connection is successful. Now sometimes, because my form has a name and surname split. Now, if you initially your design, and very important settings actually are the form settings. The form settings can be found at the design tool, at the specifically design which you have attached to the integration. So need first ensure that the email field is enabled, because app won't collect any data if the email field is not enabled. And also it is important to note that sometimes if you initially have the name field only, Mailchimp might not collect the first name. It will land all information to the last name only. So to sort that, I would recommend to split the name, run multiple charts, see incoming subscribers, and then revert it back. That's exactly what I did on my previous test, and then it sorted that issue, and right now it's collecting the the first name and the last name, as you can see. So that is just to pass through the data with the correct custom fields and custom information. Now, change, of course you can keep the split first name and last name if you would like, but if you don't want, you can revert it back after that initial first name and last name came through as a split, and once that's done you can just simply revert it, and that should sort the issue. So now congratulations, Mailchimp connection is all done. And just to remind, you can make a multiple connections if you would like. There are no limits how many connections of the same app or multiple apps you can do. Credentials will remain exactly the same. The difference only will be the list where the customers land. For instance, maybe you want to separate different embed codes, let's say for relationship separately, for astrology separately. So that can be separated by connecting multiple same apps, landing to completely different lists, and that will make easier job at the Mailchimp to separate the email sequences based on the list. So this is the video tutorial about the Mailchimp connection. As you can see, it doesn't take too long to make the connection, Mailchimp connection with the Bodygraph. And it's quite easy if you follow step by step. However, if you encounter any issues or challenges or something that's not working quite right, please feel free to reach out to support@bodygraphchat.com, and we will be more than happy to help. Best of luck in making your connections, and best of luck in your business.